hurt my friends? Well, now you answer to me.
Humanity answers to no one. Know what I hate about your kind? You act like you got it so bad. Normal people have it hard too. Harder. We just have the dignity not to whine about it.
You know, nothing lasts forever, and eventually culture will change, and hopefully the West will manage to make something entertaining again. But when we're going to be in the future, maybe like 10 or 20 years from now, and we're going to look back to some entertainment that came out lately and no one knows that it even came out because no one watched it, you will be able to recognize it because, first of all, people that make entertainment today are absolutely terrified of the female form. Like, unironically, it scares them. It keeps them awake at night. You know, like, we have a word phobia for everything. It's like transphobia, homophobia, Islamophobia. There needs to be a phobia for people who cannot draw a fictional woman with ass and tits. Like, those ass and tits literally are the most traumatizing thing. It should be like the new American horror movie coming out, and it should just be big ass and tits on TV and watch how these people scream in panic. But besides that, you know, you can also recognize that the movies are made today because the villains are so freaking relatable, right? Like, these individuals that are writing stuff, they do not have an imagination. Like, they cannot come up with any interesting concept. I don't know what the fuck their university professors did to them at school. I don't know how much it must have hurt. I generally think like they were locked in a room and just spoon-fed the same propaganda talking points over and over and over to the point where wherever they look, they see those propaganda points and they try to force them in, whether it makes fit or not. Like, the thing with X-Men, okay, I actually spoke with one of the people involved in its creation. I'm pretty sure that everyone knows Ethan Van Sciver. Like, I was in various streams with him, and I also spoke in person with him. And he said that when they were making X-Men, the only conversation was, this is about puberty. It's about growing up. It's about getting in control of your power. Like this is what they were talking internally. Now, since then, you have, like, the critics that come from the academia, and they're like, no, nay, it's actually about minorities, and it's the civil rights issue and the struggle. And I'm like, okay, you know, fine. Like, it can be whatever you want it to be, Poopsicles. You know, because at the end of the day, art, once it's published, it's up to us to decide what it is about. But when you look at X-Men, like, you got this villain, right? And everything he says is 100% true. What are the X-Men? Well, they're well-fed and well-clothed. Like, I know for Americans, this doesn't seem like much, but for us living in the rest of the world, being well-fed and well-clothed is actually a really great thing. Like, it's an accomplishment, okay? So the X-Men are well-fed, they're well-clothed, they are highly educated because they actually do go to a university and they get, like, schooling, you know. They are well taken care of. They fly around in a fucking private jet. And on top of all this, they have superpowers. Like, literally every kid I know, every single kid on the block, they wanted to be like the X-Men. And sure, you know, like, some of them have, like, superpowers that aren't as good. Like, for instance, Rogue, you know, like, she can never experience human contact. She can never hug a person without hurting them. But hey, it's better than having cancer, right? It's just better than having leukemia, because at the end of the day, Rogue can fly around. Like, she can take superpowers from other mutants and do cool stuff. But we're supposed to feel sorry for her. We're supposed to feel pity. And the thing is, like, I go on Twitter and I tell these people who are, like, pushing this, and they're like, oh no, you're just a straight white man, you don't understand. And I'm like, really? So you're a mutant? Is that what you're saying? You're a fucking mutant? That you understand better than I do? Every single kid on the block, every single one that I grew up wanted to be an X-Men. If it's so bad to be an X-Men, if it's so fucking difficult, why does everyone relate and want to be them? And finally, the writers don't even understand the prejudice and why it exists in the X-Men universe. They are not being prejudiced against because they have different skin color or because they have different sexuality. These people have the ability to create earthquakes, to walk through walls, to kill people from a distance. The fear that the public has against the X-Men is completely justified, especially when you have X-Men that actually use their powers for evil, and when you have someone like Magneto that would just be fine with exterminating entire nations of people as long as he can save one mutant. So yeah, like in this universe, this animosity that the general public and this fear that the general public has towards these superheroes is completely justified. I mean, holy shit, you know, like imagine if Homelander from The Boys existed in real life. Like, wouldn't it be justified to be afraid of him and, you know, to have all of this stigma against anyone that has like these weird superpowers? I just find it very interesting how they keep currently trying to current day every single thing. Like every single thing needs to be current date, whether it fits in the lore or not. I watched the previous X-Men, by the way. Like, no one was upset that the X-Men were complaining or whining about it. Right? In no episode does it seem forced. In all the episodes, it seemed that most humans were okay to some level, and the animosity came from a small group, and it was always justified because, again, these people are capable of committing acts that are so supernatural and so devastating that you would actually need to be a moron not to be afraid of them. Like, even in the case of the X-Men that are benevolent and they're law-abiding and they don't want to hurt anyone, you can have a mutant like that guy. There was a comic where he literally would kill everyone around a 5-mile radius of him. So like, if you just entered that radius, you'd just die. He didn't even know he was doing it, because the whole thing is like he's walking around and he just finds dead people. Like, he doesn't even know that he's the one causing it. And eventually they send Wolverine to kill him. Professor Xavier, isn't there a story where he's getting a stroke? And because he's getting a stroke, his powers go haywire and he's murdering everyone around him. Again, like even when you have the X-Men that are benevolent and they're law-abiding citizens and they don't want to hurt anyone, they are dangerous not just to the general public, but they're dangerous to other X-Men as well. So again, it just doesn't fit when you're current daying it. No, this is not like the American civil rights issues or any other real event. No, because we do not have, in real life, people that have these powers. In fact, we wouldn't even know what to do if this situation happened. Like, if you were to, see a child that's able to levitate and just destroy buildings with a snap of his fingers, like, we wouldn't even have an answer to that. We wouldn't even know what to do or where to begin. I really hate these comparisons. And this idea, it's like, oh yes, well, the guy is a villain. Again, I haven't watched the episode. I'm not even planning to. I'm just analyzing his monologue, right? Like his monologue makes complete sense. Like, if the X-Men are actually crying and whining about it, well, it's not really productive, is it? Again, you're flying around in a private jet, going on cool adventures, and having all these amazing superpowers surrounded by allegedly beautiful women, but I guess, the Americans took away the beautiful women from you, so maybe that's why they're angsty. Maybe that's why they're complaining. No, maybe this is a psyop. Like, if you don't have beautiful women, you end up complaining more, so this is why they're removed from us, huh? Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.